Is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, the closet swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Man, that's not early in the morning. Ooh, it's just crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I tried to share on YouTube, and then for some reason it said video didn't share. So then I closed it down, restarted it. Now we look good on YouTube, but we got all my people in house. We got Chuck, good morning. Albert, good morning. We got Alex, good morning. Bill, Brian Thompson, Brian Ripple. Cindy is with us, bright and early. Franco and Nancy, good morning. Graham, good morning. We got Greg K in the house and Greg Gilbert. The Gregs are here. Good morning to Jay, Joe, Kevin, Lauren, Rock, Ron, Win, Wally, all my people in YouTube land. I think we kicked them all out and then they got to come back in. So in the if we'll give them a minute in YouTube land. But Greg Gilbert says, where else would I be? That's a deep question so early in the morning. That's such a deep question so early. Richard Jet, good morning. We got the squad in the house. Not a lot of news today. The biggest thing yesterday, which we could there's two things yesterday. One I think was over the weekend, causing a little bit of doubt and some selling into some of the Asian stocks. Was a comment made from, I believe, the White House, essentially saying that in terms of like, we don't really care if, like, we don't want China to invade Taiwan, but we're not going to do anything if it happens. So some people kind of taking that as a green light, where there could, like, that would give encouragement for China to invade Taiwan. I think we had a lot of Asian stocks dropping off of that, Bob included, Baidu, JD, all of those guys. We might see some continuation today. Just as pre-market, we are down a little bit. I don't know necessarily that that's exactly what they intended or what they meant, and maybe they walk some things back and it's politics as usual, but that did cause a little bit of a drop for some of the Asian names. And I would be looking maybe for some continuation in that because I have not heard anything get walked back as of yet. So Asian names probably a little bit weaker. The other bigger thing, I guess, yesterday after the bell, we did have FDX, which is FedEx report, and they are down. They have the ability to, just because obviously they're involved in so many businesses, transportation. If regular businesses are slow, they're not going to be mailing out or sending out as many packages. They have the ability to bring fear and weakness back into the market. So it is possible that they missed on earnings. Actually, it looks like they beat on earnings, but missed on revenue. Yep. So they beat on earnings per share, missed on revenue, but more importantly, their outlook was still saying, kind of look a little bit to the weaker side. We look a little bit to the weaker side. So we are breaking down right there, and that could bring the market back, and some people could start to maybe pump the brakes on this extremely bullish market and say, well, the underlying economy, maybe it's strong. Maybe we actually do have a good economy, but maybe not as much as we've been just pumping this thing up. So again, it could be a little sign for some profit taking. Overall, though, let's flip it to the SPY, and this is a retest gap. We are right at the probably zone I would look to hold. Worst case, if this thing comes down a little bit further, I'd be looking for some kind of bounce at 222.96. So not much room to the downside, and it is a retest gap. Probably would be looking to fade this thing up higher. And again, if FedEx does move higher, I would kind of think that the SPY could grab some legs too, and we might be able to retest. But let's see where the SPY is at this opening bell. Inside day from yesterday, the bulls were able to maintain control inside of this zone. However, if we open here, we are now under 1, 2, 3, 4 VPOCs, and we have a lot of room down to 431. So somewhere in this 431 zone is a potential. What I think happens to the market today, yeah, we could just have a little pullback. If we I think we could get up to this VPOC. So I think we do something like this at open, and then maybe we look to fade. And we go something like that, and maybe this. So probably 5 waves here. I think this is some type of bigger wave. Let's see if that's a wave 3. It was quite the move. Yeah, I think maybe all of this is wave 3. I don't know. It's getting a little tricky. I don't know where I want to start my wave from. I think if we zoom this out enough, this to me would have to be either the ABC, but let's say this is a 1, this is a 2, then this entire move is 3. That means this move, which could be a wide move, could be 4, and then we come in for double top or 1 new higher high, something like that. If I do it the other way, I think I'm still in pretty much the same ball game. I think that's 1, 2. This is still 3, 4, 5. So I think either way, this is some type of a wave 3 after this breakout. A pullback could make sense. I mean, I think we have to. We've hit an all-time record of I think we tied the all-time record for how many weeks we were positive in a row. I think it was 7. So yeah, I don't know. But either way, I think this is a pullback. The only difference this would make is if this is our wave 1, this is our wave 2, this is our wave 3. This will have the ability to be a short 4. And then probably we get that bounce right at that 431 and change somewhere. And then we make our next wave. If this is our 1, this is our 2, this entire move was our 3, that would allow for us to just kind of make a bigger wave 4. It would take a little bit more time. You can see some deeper levels, but because this is a longer wave 4, that wave 5 has the ability to really run. So that's the size of this wave 4 is going to be counted by where we are on this chart, and quite frankly, it's a little confusing depending on where you want to start it. Win says TradingView shows it's the top of wave 3. I think either way, this is a wave 3. Yeah, I agree with that. But they're saying this is where wave 2 starts. All right, so let's say TradingView is correct. Let's say they're correct. They're going with this one as opposed to the second one. So they're going with essentially this being 1, 2. This entire thing is 3. So then, if that is correct, this should be a longer wave 4. And then we get the bigger wave 5, which again, the longer this wave 4 is, and I think I agree. Does this have to be the top? Can we get some kind of crazy news and this thing just keeps running and this wave 3 continues and this is a very small pullback? Yes, but I do think this is probably where we start to get this bigger wave 4, potentially. If that's the case, and we're using the TradingView version, which was my version 1, this wave 4 has the ability to be a little bit longer, a little bit more drawn out, but that would be able to create a much bigger wave 5, and you could probably be looking for an actual break of that wave 3 as opposed to a lower high or double top or something like that. But we'll see how it plays out. For right now, though, I think we do get a little bit of a retest. We push higher at open, I would think, and then we start to I think we have the ability to roll down. Keep in mind, all those moving averages are still in the way. I don't think it's going to be the easiest short yet in the way, but we are pretty extended from a lot of those things. So that's how I'll be looking to play the market. QQQ. Ron's got a couple as well. All right. QQQ. So same little thing. Yesterday was a gap down. A retest. We did that. We're starting to break. I kind of like the Qs to short a little bit more. SPY has, I think, a little bit more room to run, though. If SPY can break down, I think SPY is going to be a little bit choppier. But if SPY has the ability to break down, I think we get a wider range. But the Qs, they look like they're just about ready to go. This is a gap and go. Still inside day, though, so I would think maybe a little chop out of the gate. First move on the Qs is 362.66. After that one, then we get the trade. That would take us to about 356.68. There's not a lot in the way. And that would also take us below that 10. So we'll see if this is some kind of pullback, but it is a gap and go. Technically on the cues, I think LI win. We can't look at Mara today. We just can't look at Mara today. I refuse. I refuse. All right. You talked me into it. Mara. LI Auto. Yeah, decent gap and go. We are. Is there any short float in this thing? I feel like there's not, but could be wrong. Yeah, 3.4%. So we're not going to get the short float on this one. It is up high. We are breaking a decent gap. I think everyone's profitable for the most part on LI. Has some room to run for continuation. Probably looking, if this thing runs bullish, you're probably going to get to about 35, 36 on it. So I think he had about 60 cents to the higher side. It is a gap and go clearing a pivot. I would like this one to act as a retest first, though. Come back down into the 34, 38 range. And if we could do that, that at least gets us to that VPOC. We bounce there, and then we look to ride. Otherwise, there's a lot of people already profitable, although we are clearing a pivot. So kind of a confusing gap. We'll have to see how this plays out. All right, RKT. RKT, a little bit of a gap up. No, sorry, gap. Yeah, gap up from close. Still inside yesterday's range. Not going to provide a lot of momentum. Let me see why RKT. Ron likes this one. Rocket Companies. Is this Rocket Mortgage? Yeah, this is Rocket Mortgage. These guys are still around 25% short float. So it is a gap and go, 25% short float. Not really trapping too many people that weren't already trapped yesterday, though. Got a nice little bounce off the 10, so I would use yesterday's lows as probably my stop on this one. We could probably, that gets us 9-cent stop. Maybe we'd be generous, 10 cents. 5 cent, 10 cent. Looks like we are curving a little bit on a smaller move. This could be 1, 2. Yeah. This is probably your 1, 2. You probably have a decent massive move ahead of it. Rocket Mortgage has been a struggle bus. Good consolidation, though. Yeah, we've been in this consolidation station for a minute, and we have not gotten out yet. Yep, it is a gap and go. We could watch it. I don't know if it's going to provide us with some great trades yet. I was hoping it would, so we don't have to watch more. But let's add this one to the list. We'll get it up there just to see what it does, but it is inside day 2. And then I don't think the emotions are going crazy on this one yet. Although it does have some legs for possible future trade. A big old triangle. GEO. I got me some of that. Which is interesting because now I already know how it trades. Huge volume that came in yesterday. Not sure if there was news or what, but huge volume. Not yesterday, Friday. Then yesterday, small little move. We still got all these moving averages that potentially could come into us. GEO. They have a high short flow too. 20% short float, so decent short float. Has the ability to do something crazy. It is a gap and go, but again, we're not trapping a lot of people from yesterday. We still have this candle from Friday that anybody in there short, they might start to get a little bit worried. There is a double bottom in it. I do like GEO for the long term. I own some of it for the long term. I might buy some more for the long term. In fact, I will buy some more for the long term. But in terms of day trades, we do have to watch out for that 10 EMA is right above us. It is a gap and go. Let's throw it a little bit higher on the list because it is a gap and go. I do want to get LI on there too. Just that one could be interesting. Let's get LI up there too. And we will take a look at Mara. Against my will, but we'll take a look. MARA. This is why I don't like Mara. they play with my emotions yesterday. I was talking to Ron before the bell, and I'm like, yeah, it's a retest gap. We should probably wait for the retest to come in. And like my plan was to do that. So I really can't be mad at Mara. I think I had so big momentum right out of the gate. I got caught in this one, caught that green candle up, was sitting at about half an hour, looking good. I was like, this thing it now could break. We got new highs and then just lost all the wind. And then I was like, we should probably look for like, what was the number I gave you? I think it was like 979, which that one still would have missed me by 2 pennies. But then got right back down there. I was like, that's a better spot. This is this time we should. And I think we got into something else. But yeah, that was straight shot to the moon. And then today it is gapping up. I think another full dollar as well. Retest gap. Let's see where this thing has the ability to run to today. If there's any resistance in the way. The next spot we got to watch for is about 1277. After that, it's 1394. And then after that, we're in the 20s. So we've already put a lot of the resistance on our back, and now it's we're in squeeze zone. Again, retest gap. Today I'm going to listen to myself, Ron. Today I'm going to listen to myself. So basically you guys should all just go market buy at open because I'm going to be patient and miss it. But let's see if we can get that pullback of some type and then see if we get the break. But it is a retest gap. Technically, you should have the squeeze behind you on this one. And looking at like 1171 would be the zone. There's YouTube people. I was waiting for some comments because I had some YouTube trouble earlier today. But good morning, YouTube land. We got ENPH, Enphase. Energy stocks have been a little bit to the wild side so far. Great time to reverse play. Which one was that for, Chuck? Amara? I'll just do the opposite of what I do in that one. Just reverse play me. That's all. No, I wouldn't go short Mara. No, they still have a high short squeeze. I'm not looking to play the fade, but if we get down low enough, I'd be looking to still go long on it. All right, we got a little bit of technically a retest gap, still inside day. You do have some level of support. Could get tricky around the zone. I wouldn't be buying Enphase yet. I don't see any reversal signal as to why. But because it's inside and because it is also technically a retest gap, I could see some kind of a pop at open. I don't know where that pop would go to. We do have one little VPOC here. And we got saved right down there yesterday. That was off of this. So we have already retested that. So I don't know what happens. I do think we go bullish probably at open on it. I think this could happen. We've already retested that one VPOC. That would take us still a little bit lower. So somewhere down here, right under somewhere like the 164.70 zone, somewhere right around there would be a decent spot. And then if this thing wants to create a double bottom, it's either going to be here or maybe we come a little bit lower because this one has not really been retested yet. So somewhere right around that 155 and change. So 155.50, we'll call it. That would be a better spot for that double bottom. And then if Enphase wants to go, that would be the spot. And that would also get you much better risk reward on the higher side for swing trade. But for day trade, yeah, again, not too much. I mean, I'm expecting it to curve there. Doesn't have to. We could get back up here first. And then we come down. So probably somewhere here. Maybe I drew that too high. But this could happen. That would help the bulls feel a little bit more confident on this thing before the rug pull. But I do think these levels down here probably have to get retested at some point. So see if we get that pullback. Wave count, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be 5. This should be our ABC. So I think we could get a little bit of a higher retest, and then we come down for that double bottom. We will see. Let's throw Enphase a little bit higher on the list. Gertline wants to take a look at Virgin Galactic, which is another short squeeze play. SPCE. The market has been absolutely ripe for short squeezes. Let's see. Do we get continuation out of Virgin Galactic? And if so, how should we play this thing? So pre-market gapping down slightly, still inside yesterday's bullish run. Let's set an alert on this one. So create alert. I'm thinking if we could get enough of a pullback, it doesn't mean it has to, but that was a very strong candle yesterday. I have a VPOC right where we set the alert, and that's also roughly about the 50% retracement of that candle. So maybe we can get something like this. Something like this, and then we go. Looks good to me. That'd also give me a better risk reward. I could probably throw a stop here, entry here. 2 R's is maybe somewhere up in that zone, $7, slightly above 7. But it has a ton of room to run on it. It's got the high short squeeze factor to it as well. In terms of volume, if this thing really starts to get going, which I prefer it almost on a swing basis than a day trade basis. I prefer a lot of the squeezes on a longer time frame because they have abilities to do crazy things. But the next stop could take us to about 888 before we really have to worry. If we could break today's high. Not a lot of volume, not a lot of things. Couple pivots in there, but again, to me, it's more about liquidity, and there's not a lot of liquidity anywhere until about, let's just call it $9, but slightly under $9. So I like it. Definitely one to watch. I remember when this list used to be like real companies at the top. And now somehow I keep moving them all down. PayPal had a good day yesterday. I think there was some news on PayPal. Take this off. So they were strong. We could look for some continuation from PayPal today. I think they're pretty much destined for $70 at this point. It's $1 higher. 71.65 would be probably today's target. So see if we can get a little bit higher, but that was a very strong close on PayPal. We are also in a squeeze according to TradingView. And again, I like the TOS one better. But on a daily chart, we were just in a squeeze, not perfect because we're on the wrong side of the moving averages. Although at this point, we are starting to break them. So we got to continue to watch that. It looks a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders. Not a perfect one, but if it was, if we get any type of selling today right into that VPOC would be decent. So Again, 1, 2, 3 decent bull days in a row. We got some limiting targets above us, but PayPal, I'm looking for continuation where I could get it. JD again struggling. That one is down below some VPOX at least. That one's already been retested. Target on it would probably be about $34.61. So I'm looking to short that one. Lemonade, nothing there crazy. Adobe, not much. Let me get FedEx up higher on this list as well. FDX, because that one we have a lot of room to play that retest, which it would be interesting. All right, stage sheet. Anything else that you guys want to look? I think we still got 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Otherwise, we'll just continue to run down the list a little bit. Mongo database, see if there's anything that really stands out. MDB is kind of flat. Shopify, nothing crazy. Got those moving averages running their tail, and then Tessie gapping up because that's what it does. Tesla today has room to about 280.77. Again, that would be a retest gap after a very, very strong move from the last couple weeks plus yesterday. And again, they had some news in regards to charging stations yesterday. We could get some. We got Tesla earnings coming out soon. That's going to be a wild. Wow. I didn't realize we were almost at that. So the date is July 24th for Tesla earnings. So we still got a little bit of time. But yep. I think we're almost destined for 300, probably just short of it before we get the pullback, but we'll see. LMT, nothing crazy inside. We are gapping 2 pennies. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Neo is kind of running on the back of Tesla and could get some further push. I think Neo still has a decent short float as well. Kind of still inside. So this was a gap up. That's bullish momentum. This is all a retest. We came down. We re-hit some of those targets. See if we get a retest on Neo today. A retest of this and then look to run that bullish, especially if Tesla wants to go bullish today. Baba being an Asian name is gapping down slightly. Retest gap. We got all sorts of moving averages here. I think this one has the ability to start to hit like $85, 85.50, 86, somewhere in that zone. That would be about the 618 of this. We'll see if that news continues or not out of between tensions of China and Taiwan. But we got 8 seconds left, unfortunately. Everybody, YouTube land, I got to let you guys go. You guys have been absolutely incredible. You can join us each and every day. Trade with us from 9 to 6 p.m. at night in